Dr. Z here.
And Mama Z, thank you so much for joining our course. I hope you've learned a lot about essential oils.
And we invite you to join our global community of people who are committed to experiencing the abundant life and who are using essential oils safely and effectively by buying this course. We're committed to keeping the cost of this course as affordable as possible because we know as a family of 6, we're on a budget too. So we're going to make it as easy as possible for you to be educated and to empower you and your family to use essential oils. And in addition to that, we want to invite you to join our mission. And Sabrina, tell us a little bit about what's been going on with our family the last couple of years.
Absolutely. We lost my brother-in-law to brain cancer, and we had a friend that was fighting cancer, and the medical community gave up on her, and we were able to help her. But there are so many other people, including a good friend of ours that just was diagnosed with breast cancer. And we've helped her, but she needs more help than what we can give her here in the United States. And there are other people also on a quest to help end this epidemic.
And because of this, we've partnered with the ICRF, the Independent Cancer Research Foundation, who is a nonprofit organization whose sole mission is to educate people about integrative and alternative cancer therapies and to literally send people to alternative cancer therapy clinics to get treatments that are either illegal in America, not permitted, or insurance just doesn't cover them. So what you're doing is you're helping us help people save their life. So just so you know, a significant portion of the proceeds of this course go towards that, and we're going to be documenting these cases so you could see where your money is going.
The other thing is that knowing my brother-in-law and my friend and other friends is that without those people in our lives, it's totally changed everything about our life, and we don't want people to go through the same thing we have.
Yeah. We have seen so many of our friends and family, whether it is autoimmunity, whether it's cancer or some other disease, just get pushed into a model that isn't proven, that's highly dangerous and is very experimental. And we just want you to know there's options, and that's why we're committed to doing what we do. No, we don't believe that essential oils are going to cure you of death, but we believe that they could help, and we believe that it's part of a holistic lifestyle. So again, just thank you so much for joining us here on this free global viewing of the Essential Oils for Abundant Living program. As you can see, this is our life's work, and we're committed to this and helping people for the rest of our lives.
We want you to live the abundant life.
Amen. I'll never forget when one of our loved ones told us that their oncologist said, your diet doesn't matter. You can just eat whatever you want. And it just breaks my heart for the miseducation that our medical colleagues get in medical school. And we're committed to stopping that. And we're committed to educating people just like you, just like your loved ones who are being diagnosed. So please join us on this mission. Scroll down below, find the package that fits for you, and we welcome you and join you as part of the Essential Oils for Abundant Living family. We hope to see you very soon. God bless. Bye-bye. Dr. Z here.
And Mama Z, and welcome to Lesson 5, Natural Solutions for a Toxic-Free Home, DIY Body Care Products.
Your skin is a sponge, and it's absolutely critical to make sure that what we put on our bodies are free of toxins and no chemicals. Let's get started.
I have an anti-aging blend that was created for me, and I use it. I noticed about 2 or 3 years ago that I started the dark spots on my face as well as on my chest, that I wanted to ward those off longer. So I have a blend that was created for me that I use. Also, every morning I use that blend in addition to putting an anti-aging blend in my hand, putting a few drops of frankincense in that, and I dab that under my eyes and on my nose and in other problem areas.
So I used to have really bad cystic acne. It started when I was in 8th grade, and so I did probably what every person goes and does. They go to the dermatologist, and they were prescribing me creams that like just kind of like hurt my skin. It dried my skin out really bad, and I actually like broke out more from it. And they were like, oh, like it's not the creams, like that, it's probably just your skin acting weird. So they put me on like antibiotics, and still like nothing changed. So I was like, there has to be something else. And I stumbled across one website, and I was like, wait, what, essential oils? Like, what is that? I looked at it and I was like, well, I guess like I'll give it a shot. Like, it's probably not gonna work. And so I tried it out. I started using like tea tree essential oils with like aloe gel, and I did that at night, and then in the morning I would do like the rose essential oil with like aloe and put it on my face. After like a week, I started seeing like a change. Like the redness on my face started to go down, and like I wasn't having that many breakouts. And so it really was the essential oils that changed my skin. And then ever since then, like that's when I started like using the diffusers, and I totally transformed.
Hello, Dr. Z here, and welcome to Lesson 5. Now we're ready to tackle some DIY body care items. Now to recap, what we've done so far is we've covered your quick start guide to aromatherapy history, extraction methods, and all about essential oils. We've touched base on the inhalation, topical use, and internal application of essential oils. Now that we got the basics down, we can start to learn how to create a toxic-free home. And in my opinion, the first step is to create body care items that are bulletproof. Now, why would we want to do this? Well, if you didn't know, most of your body care items that you're finding on your shelves at your stores are full of toxic chemicals. One chemical is referred to as triclosan. Triclosan has been a registered pesticide since 1969. And finally, thank God, the FDA banned triclosan in September 2016, but only in a couple items. It's still in a lot of your toothpastes, your lotions, your potions, and other things. Hand sanitizer is filled with triclosan, and it's been linked to neurocognitive disorders, autoimmune disease, and even cancer. It's bad news bears, and we want to be careful that we're not putting triclosan and other chemicals on our body. It's just not a good idea. We could talk all day long about artificial chemicals and how dangerous they are, but just trust me, as much as you can, doing it yourself is the best way. If you don't have the time, I completely understand. Mama Z has some tips on how to incorporate essential oils into your body care items that won't take a lot of time, but if you got it, it's worth it. All right, well, let's get started with some tips. So to help you get started making your own DIY recipes, we've created a recipe book that you can download in your course resources. It's a great tool that gives you everything from shampoos to conditioners to soaps, toothpaste, and mouthwash, all that you need to know. And I want to draw your attention to the fact that a little goes a long way. I mean, really, when it comes to essential oils, you only need a few drops. There's some crazy stuff on Pinterest that I see that includes 40, 50, 60 drops of essential oil, and that's a lot of money. Not only is it a waste, and it puts your body in harm's way because it way blows outside of the max dermal limits that most people have with essential oils. So don't get your health advice from Pinterest, and I want to put a caution out there. Most people who blog in the aromatherapy world, including your favorite drsoandso.com, they have not been trained in cosmetic formulations. It's really interesting when you consider that because there's a lot more to it than just putting a couple drops here, a couple drops there. There's preservatives to think about, there's emulsification, and again, remember, waters and oil don't mix, so how do you create a solution that's gonna last you quite a while? So as a rule of thumb, follow the recipes that we've created, and a little goes a long way. Now, before you start making your own, I want to point out some safety tips because this is really, really important. First, most of your DIY body care items are going to have water or water-based products in that can reduce its shelf life. Remember, not only do essential oils not have an infinity worth of shelf life, they only last a year or 2 or 3 at max. But when you incorporate water into your shampoo, your mouthwash, your toothpaste, that allows bacteria to grow even though oils are antimicrobial. Most DIY home solutions that don't include preservatives will only last you a few weeks at most. Now, I have not seen a good preservative out there that I'm willing to use because most of them are very harmful. That's why a lot of the chemicals in your toothpaste and your lotions and potions at the store just aren't good for you. Vitamin E has been said to be a natural preservative. Again, that's debatable. It's really hard to find information online, folks, and my heart goes out to you as it does to me and my family because, again, Aromatherapists are not trained in cosmetic formulations, and most bloggers and doctors just don't know this stuff. So I just want to share with you as humbly as possible that, look, we just got to keep it to the facts, and we have to be very careful who we're listening to, because we're going to be led astray. And the last thing I want you to do is start to make your own DIY stuff and have it go rancid and you not know. Well, how do you know? It's a good question. You'll notice by smell. You'll notice that your nice lemon scent shampoo just doesn't have that nice citrusy aroma anymore. It's not sweet. It starts to smell a little bitter. Or maybe if you're making a preparation, you'll notice that your skin isn't as happy as it was before. Maybe after putting it on, after a few weeks or a month, your skin breaks out in a rash or gets a little red or irritated. That's an indication that there's bacteria overgrowth. Again, there's no hard and fast rule. If you want to make things ahead of time, you can always put them in the refrigerator, and that's a great way also of slowing down bacteria growth and slowing down oxidation, which will ultimately break down essential oils. And don't forget your organoleptic evaluation. Remember that from a previous lesson? How does your body experience these essential oils? Through smell, taste, touch, feeling. So if you make your own DIY shampoo, you put it on your hair, next thing you know, some hair falls out uncharacteristically, or your scalp gets agitated or something negative, that's a good sign that you shouldn't be using that. However, like most of the people, you're not gonna have that happen, but you still need to be cognizant of it. And we always need to remember too, on our skin, you should test it first. Just like how you're going to test a little piece of carpet in the corner before you clean your carpet with a brand new cleaner, right? You want to do what's known as a skin patch test. And I would say you want to do the skin patch test for all topical application of essential oils, whether it's through a healing blend, a roller bottle, or even a DIY lotion or potion or some recipe. And all you do is usually just dab a little bit of the preparation on the back of your hand or on the top of your foot and just observe. All you need to give it is a few seconds or a minute most. And if no adverse reactions, that's a good indication that your body will respond well to that essential oil preparation. Well, that's really all about it. As long as you follow the recipes that we provide, you're gonna be in good shape. And I cannot stress enough, you have to be very careful about the chemicals that you're putting on your skin, especially if you're using products from different companies, because you never know the chemical reaction that can happen. And wait till you hear a story about Mama Z and how she literally burned her face from using bad products. All right, babe, we just talked about the importance of DIY. You know, why we need to stop this chemical onslaught, especially on our skin, because the skin microbiome is our first layer of defense against pathogens and things. So I know for us, it's been quite a while. I mean, we've been doing this since we've been married now 11 years. We've been slowly converting everything over to now it's like, got this rocking. We got a really, really good system. But before I want you to share some tips though. It's really important because you got really some good hacks and secrets and tips of how you've really nailed this down. Like, how do we do this? But why? Like this whole overarching question of why are you so passionate about doing it yourself, specifically when it comes to body care products, and it all starts when you were a girl and when you burned your face. So talk us through that story.
Yeah, so I had 2 over-the-counter skin care products that reacted with my grandma's well water, and it ate layers of skin off of my face.
How old were you?
I was in 8th grade, and I will never forget that. Yeah. It's something that you can't forget. I mean, I was so embarrassed that you know, I had to use makeup just to protect my face, and when I would come home from school, I would literally need to use a snorkel to fill up a warm sink of water just to soak the makeup off my face, because I did need a layer of protection. And one of the things that I did was I used vitamin A and E and lavender essential oil to really help heal my face, especially at night. I mean, I prayed over my face and I used lavender, and literally within 6 months, even the scarring was gone.
Now, before you did that, didn't you go to the doctor and didn't they prescribe stuff, or didn't you try some over-the-counter things?
I tried some over-the-counter things. You know, I used a very basic skincare line at that point, because one thing I learned is that if you use a lot of different products from different companies, those things can interact and they may have a chemical reaction on your face, like what happened to me. So I used a very basic, skincare line and then added this to it, and it made all the difference in the world. And I've even seen friends who had the same kind of injuries, not from skincare products, but different things that had happened to them, be able to use lavender, vitamin A and E, and have scarring completely go away.
And you can tell,
No, you can't see any. You can't see any scars on either side of my face, but I had scarring all the way across, in every area, and it was, at a very delicate time in your life. In 8th grade, it's at such an awkward time, and then to have all of this go on too, it was really hard.
So like we talked about in the topical application lesson, essential oils can literally regenerate your cells. They could help your body heal itself. And that's a reason why you want to DIY with essential oils. But not only that, but to prevent any, not only chemical burns, but the key is really minimizing the toxins that are seeping into our bloodstream that have been linked to cancer, autoimmunity, cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's, dementia, so many things. So it is so important, I can't stress enough, it's so important to do our best. So do our best meaning start at the lowest hanging fruit. And that's kind of what I want you to talk about, Sabrina, because again, we've been doing this as a family now since we've been married 11 years, and we didn't, when you look at where we're at now versus where we're at before, it's light years. And when people meet us and they come up to us, at book signings or at conferences we're speaking at, and they're like, I could never do what you do. And you're like, yeah, you're right. It took us 11 years to get here. Right. It's gonna take you some time too. So think Quick Start Guide. What's the first thing you recommend when it comes to DIY body care? What's the first recipe you wanna refer people to make, and then kind of walk along and add to that?
One of the best things I think people can do to start with is to get an unscented body lotion or a healthy unscented oil, and start adding essential oils to it. Something that they would use or similar to what they are doing, but one that's free of toxins where they can add their own favorite blend to it. And just minimally, that's a great place to start. And one of the things I try to always remind people is our health is like peeling back the layers of an onion. And each layer is a new awakening, and you're learning new things about what you're doing. And so it's, it has taken us 11 years, but definitely starting with things like that is the way to go.
Now, if someone wanted to actually start from scratch, doing a whole entire recipe by themselves, what product would you recommend them doing first?
I would recommend them doing the Mama Z's oil base. We use that in a lot of our other things that we make at the house. But something very easy that they can do is make that and add vanilla and orange, which is our joyful blend. And it's super easy, and it's something that we use on the kids, almost every day. And it's the aromatherapy of it is amazing, and it's very joyful and stuff like that. So if they want to do anything, I would start there.
That's awesome. Well, it's a journey, and folks, we encourage you to start small, start within your budget. Don't think you have to invest time, a ton of time and a ton of money in this stuff. A majority of your DIY supplies you can get on Amazon, and we'll walk you through all of that stuff as you go through the recipes of the recipe book that we're providing because of this course, and you'll see just really how simple it is. And I want to encourage y'all to celebrate your progress. If there's one thing that I've learned about the internet is that it's information overload, and believe it or not, it actually causes some people to become a little bit guilty that they're not where they think they should be because they see Mama Z blogger doing all this stuff. Listen, just remember, we're all under construction and we're all doing the best that we can. So add on layer upon layer upon layer, like the Bible says, line upon line, precept upon precept. Be patient with yourself and really celebrate the successes that God gives you, because it's a lifelong journey. This isn't a sprint. So with that, what we're going to cover in the next lesson, lesson 6, is DIY cleaning products. And this is where the rubber meets the road, because there are so many harmful chemicals in the cleaning products that we get at the store that, I'm telling you something, you're going to want to make your own, and it's not hard and it's not expensive. We'll talk to you soon, y'all.